Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome all. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today with Otis and me. Is he now a part of the show? He's a part of the show. Okay, Otis, you're officially grandized into the p-dina show. Are you excited? Yeah? Oh, yeah, he's happy now. Okay, so welcome. So today, we're going to be talking about this polo show, and I like to take, a little bit deeper dive and look at what this means. The fact that Harry's polo show has just died. We knew it was going to do this. What does that really mean for Harry? What does it mean? And looking at it a little bit deeper, because this all builds on each other. Every single thing that we see with Harry and Meghan, they build on each other. And there's a lot to learn from that. And one of the things that we're going to learn is the importance of who you marry. Lord knows, I wish I would have known some things when I was coming up. Not everyone is taught these important things, but Harry was. He just didn't want to listen. All right, so we're going to talk about that today, so let's get into it.
What's the most important decision you're going to make in your life? What do you think it is?
Who you marry?
The spouse. The most important decision you make in your entire life is the spouse, because the wrong one is a disaster. The right one is fantastic. Now, I've had the right one for 68 years. Everything we've done together as a team. It's been wonderful.
So you've been together since you were my age. I'm 25.
Yes.
Can you define the word love?
With great difficulty. The feeling you have for each other. The respect. The positive attitude you carry to each other. Being there for each other without any equivocation whatsoever. There's never an issue. Should I, shouldn't I? If it's something that is important for the family or important to your spouse, you do it. Simple. Love is a conglomeration of attitudes, feelings. I mean, there's just so much that's part of it.
It's a loaded question.
It's almost impossible to define.
Yeah.
Make sure you marry the right spouse. Nothing more important in your entire life.
So as you can see, this was some really good advice for Harry. Who you marry is the most important decision you're ever going to make in your life. Don't choose stupidly. Get as much stupidness out of your head before it's time to marry. Because when you make a decision about who to marry, you don't want to have any of that stupidness in your head. You want it to be all gone. You want it to have some maturity, wisen up to the ways of the world, the ways of the women, the ways of the men of the world, so that you can, be on guard for the skankadoos that come into your life and try to infiltrate you. Because they are out there and they are trying to manipulate people. And I think that's what happens at these polo matches. I think one of the best shows, if you were going to have a show on polo, Harry, is to do a show about the women that come to these polo matches looking for a man, looking to scam their way into the life of a very wealthy man. Because the men playing these games are very wealthy. And we know in sports in general, they make a lot of money. And so to nab yourself a professional player is an important step in trying for you as the skank to marry well. It may not be to the person you're trying to scam, but it's certainly going to be good for the person who's trying to infiltrate and marry well. And I think that should have been the theme for this polo. How to marry well by following polo. How to find the right spouse through polo. How polo can set you up for life. That should have been the overall theme. For anyone watching this polo show, I think this would have been a great way to get the eyeballs on the polo sport. Or Harry should have made himself more available for the show. Because what you had going on with this polo and these people, yeah, these are just very wealthy people that, okay, you're playing polo. It's good for you that you can even play polo. It was a miss in terms of what the show had to offer. Speaking about polo, someone had sent me some information about supporting horses who have very destitute lives. If you want to make a difference, I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to support, because these horses are not like the horses in the show Polo. These are horses on the other end of the spectrum that don't have as much luxury and access to wealth and privilege as the horses in the show Polo. So I'll leave that in the description below. This is what I find good about this article that has come out today about Prince Harry. Prince Harry's old friend tells about his Netflix show, how it left him appalled. And I'm just going to give you some of my points in this because I think it's relevant to what this friend has come out, a friend of Harris that's come out and said something about this polo show. But first, there was also an article in The Cut magazine. We remember The Cut. Meghan actually did. She had an interview with The Cut that she did that was a little controversial. Well, they've also come out and written some things about Meghan and Harry around the polo show because they were both executive producers of it. And this is what they said. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's tortured attempts to launch a successful stateside endeavor continued this week with a new 5-part docuseries about polo on Netflix. It's called Polo. And while you might think a sport involving horses, fancy hats, and, very fit athletes would do well with viewers, polo is already getting horrific reviews. Every single thing that they do fails. That's what this article is about. And it really is the reality for Harry and Meghan. We all know that their Netflix documentary did good because they were slagging off, as the Brits say, the royal family. That's the only reason. So let's just get that straight. Harry should have definitely had himself and his wife in this documentary or this video or this show about polo. How they work their lives around Harry's polo playing. That would have been interesting, but they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to go that far. So now what do you have? You have a bomb of a show that shows how everything you do is not successful because you have to involve your family to be successful, Harry. That's what makes you interesting, your connection to royalty. Okay? So keep trying. That's what I say, keep trying. Like, what you gonna do next, Harry? What you gonna do? I wanna know. Because polo was a bomb. Meghan, what you gonna do, jam? You gonna do a show on cooking? Yes, we're waiting to see that bomb as well. Because you need to do things that are going to be about your relationship around the royal family. That is the only thing that makes you interesting. Personally, I haven't felt compelled to watch polo, but according to critics, it is tedious, mostly boring, and destined to fall through the sub-menus into obscurity at the speed of light. And all this polo show has done is given people more content to talk about how you can't do anything right. You will never succeed. It's just like we just wait to say, okay, Harry did a show called Polo, Harry and Meghan. Oh, okay, let me see what they did. Yeah, that's boring. Yep, he failed again. That's what that does for people. It's not like we're waiting to watch it and see what a great show it is. We're just waiting to see, okay, here you go again, trying to be like everyday regular folk. And it just doesn't work. You're not regular. You're not like the average person. So show what makes you unique. Get behind those palace walls and talk about that. That's the only way you can make it work. One ticked off guy at The Guardian wrote, and feels like a spoof documentary designed to play on screens in the background of episodes of Succession. Though the couple co-produced the show, it seems to have been more of Harry's pet project. He's a longtime polo player, apparently. He had a vision. He had a vision. I play polo. Let me see if I can do a show on polo. But neither he nor his wife appear much in the series at all, eliciting even more criticism. It's like you try to have something be created that was your vision, but your vision was a dud. And you thought you were going to put yourself in one episode and it was going to make people interested. No. Okay, so going into this other article about Harry and Meghan, or actually the polo show, Harry and Meghan. I mean, Meghan, she's in the polo show one episode. So really it is with her and Meghan, her and Harry. Okay, so this latest titled Polo show on Netflix has been met with scathing reviews, and even Harry's friend is unimpressed with the work. The 5-part series promises viewers a peek in the inner workings of professional polo, a sport synonymous with high society and a favorite of the royals. Okay, so Harry and Meghan were executive producers for the show, but it seems polo has fallen short of expectations, according to critics. Now, reviews range from Harry's own polo playing pals to news outlets and even a Hollywood bigwig who predicts the Sussex's fate is to monetize their fame on social media. And that's exactly right. Everybody can see what you're doing, Harry and Meghan. Everyone can see your vision. We're royals. We have no talent. We're going to move to America separate from the royals in the UK, and we're going to use social media, and we're going to make ourselves wealthy off of the backs of our connection to real royals. Ta-da! That's your brand. And people can see it. And we're just like, I mean, you don't have nothing to offer. A former polo compatriot of the Duke didn't mince words when speaking to the Daily Beast, labeling the show tacky and cringy. It's hilarious, but not in a good way. It's so tacky and cringy. It's literally the worst show about polo. How low are you going to go, Harry? How low are you and your wife going to go? I watched it in appalled hysterics. Not far behind in criticism is The Telegraph, which doled out a message, a 2-star review, and summed it up as a tedious inside look at the elite sport. The lack of enough appearances by Harry and Meghan themselves led them to dismiss it as a dull indulgence about a rich person's pursuits. It's almost like you are literally setting yourself up to fail. You had nothing in this series that compromised you and your ability to be seen on camera to warrant anyone to want to give it a good review. I could see if you sacrificed your time to be in this series and you did an interview and you did all these things to add to it, but you could not even, for the sake of you having a somewhat good show about polo, you could not even waste your time to talk on this polo series about polo. Think about it. He could not even do a sit-down interview about his experiences playing polo, like what it looks like behind the scenes. He could not even do that. The most that they did was show Meghan and Harry at a polo game talking and Meghan speaking some Spanish. Like just what you would normally be doing. Oh, catch us while we do what we normally do. And we'll put that in the show. But there was no concerted effort to sit down and to give content specifically for this show Polo with you in it, Harry. Like you did not even do that. You could not even be bothered to put yourself in the show and to do an interview. That's how lazy you are. That's how entitled you are. You think you could just sprinkle some polo players in a show, put your name as the executive producer and think people are going to come want to watch it? You are so entitled. It's so much fun watching you fail because you have no hard work in you. You have no real grit and attention to purpose and success. You just think you're going to ride success in with your name, with a title. That means absolutely nothing in America. Go figure, folks. Go figure. I don't understand. Adding to this chorus of disapproval was The Guardian, which acidly referred to polo as the stupidest, most obnoxious sport known to humanity. I mean, do the reviews get any worse than this, folks? Really? They couldn't even be really a part of this show for the sake of increasing its likability to be successful. Let that sit with you for a second. But it just shows how Harry did not marry well. He married a woman who thought being on Netflix was a good thing. And so Harry, what did he do? He put himself in a position to create a show about his vision, what he knows, Polo. And now he's bombing. He's got negative reviews because his wife is the reason behind this whole Polo show. Harry could only come up with what he knows, and this is what he knows. And what he knows is not very important or of interest to regular everyday people. They needed something special, and Harry just didn't want to do that. This is why he wasn't in it, because Harry doesn't want to be a part of this Hollywood scene. So basically, they got negative reviews. Meghan is the reason why Harry has bombed in his vision of talking about Polo. Harry did not marry well. Harry married a wife who put him in this predicament. And look at your life now, Harry. Just look at you. You're just a little nut and dud in America. Your title don't mean nothing. You can't hardly make the money to pay your bills. And you certainly can't live up to your wife's purpose. Because we can see, Harry, it's not your purpose. And what have I always said, folks, as we speak about the imitation of royal life? What have I always said? Harry and Meghan are no longer aligned in purpose. Their purposes in life are going in different directions, which means eventually their lives, their personal lives will go off in different directions. That, my friends, is coming. Because this nonsense of a Polo show is what it is. It's some nonsense. And Harry is just getting a little bit more of what you get when you don't marry well. Take it from me, folks. Harry has bombed in making one of the most important decisions in his life.